Body of benchers induct 8 more amnesty delegates as lawyers and solicitors. The Joy Youth Council affirms support for President Buhari's Niger Delta Development Blueprint. Plus, fact file, tidbits, and more. A very good day to you out there and best of the season. I am Stella Inameti and welcome to Reintegration 30,000. As we count down to the end of the year 2017, we are appreciative of all of your support and contributions, not just towards this program, but also for the continued success of the Presidential Amnesty Program. There is absolutely no doubt that the Amnesty Program has positively impacted on development in the Niger Delta region, transforming the lives of thousands of youth, building capacity and partnerships, and giving hope and maintaining the peace in a region hitherto considered unstable. Each new week is a celebration for us on this program, and to start off this episode, let's bring you the changed story of one of our delegates. The core mandate of the Presidential Amnesty Program is to fast-track the reintegration of former armed agitators back into civil society. And over the last 2 years or so, the Amnesty Program has intensified efforts in this direction, resulting in the transformation of delegates, thousands in number becoming responsible members of society. Our change story for this week is a beneficiary whose life turned for the better courtesy of the Presidential Amnesty Program.
My name is Otokolo Kemibimo. I'm from Bayelsa State, Southern Niger. I am one of the beneficiaries of the Amnesty Program. What happened really, the Niger Delta region, we are suffering. So the agitation started, and when it started, my elder brother, Otokolo, is one of the leaders in the creek. So I was his PA and his secretary. I was working with him. So we was fighting for resource control for then, before the late President Yaradua came onto board and he negotiated with the militants. And we are not militant for the first place. We were fighting for our rights because we are neglected in the region. Mostly in Nigeria as a whole, we are neglected. So we have been fighting for our rights, that let the government come to our aim, that they should develop our area. We are the first batch that went to Bubra, and when we went to Bubra, it was not funny. When we went to the Bubra, we have been hearing stories, because after the laying of arms, they said they want to take us to train us in a camp I will call Bubra. So when we went there, the first batch was tough, was not easy, but the consulars who came and was talking to us was asking us, what training do you want? What do you want to do in your future after this camp? What do you want? So some of them, they said they want to go for welding, some of them school, some of them fishing, some of them business. So for me, I went for school. And I studied industrial management in Russia, and I graduated successfully, and today I'm working in the Amnesty Program. So it's changed me a lot, because I will never think of going to abroad, but today I've been in abroad, and I study in Russia to make sure I will be a greater person. And Russia, like when you go to foreign country, it changes you a lot, because their mentality, it changed. All they are doing, it changed. Their environment, everything you saw is very different things from Nigeria. So it changed me a lot. When I come back, I told my people, these things we are doing, school is the best. We have to agitate for school so that we have to have more people in school, because our region is less far than other regions, because we don't have grassroots. But today, I may assure some people that Now we can say that we have many people that have graduated from different schools. Maybe it's not only Russia, different countries. From 2015 till date, we have many graduates that graduated from different schools, from different countries. Mostly in Nigeria too, we have graduates from different schools. So I think Amnesty is working. If our people is going to school, they will not be thinking of going to the streets again or to the creek, because education is the success story for everyone. And secondly, I may say they have to train our people into different fields, mostly handworks. Let them go into handworks too. The ones that cannot go to school, let them go to handwork, so that if somebody is doing something, they will not be thinking of going to riot or doing anything, or to go and destroy pipeline or anything. So I thank the government. The government is working, mostly General Boro is working, Buhari, they are working very hard to make sure the program success. And secondly, what I will say, the government in power, they are trying, because what they are doing is to make peace in the region, to make sure the region have peace. So I may say the government is really trying.
Such is the power of positive thinking and will to succeed in life. The Presidential Amnesty Program is making giant strides in that direction and helping youth stand on their own feet through trainings and mentorship. This week on our segment Insight, we shall review the Amnesty Program training in automobile manufacturing technology. This training provides an avenue, a springboard for delegates to take on life's challenges in their quest to becoming economically independent and employers themselves. The training in automobile technology is part of an education for employment initiative conceived by the Presidential Amnesty Office and some of its key partners for the youth of the Niger Delta. The training is particularly critical considering current efforts by the federal government to transfer and develop local expertise in car manufacturing, maintenance and repairs.
We initiated this process 2015, where we discovered the opportunity within the Nigeria local content. We went into partnership with Innocent Motors, one of the business company in Nigeria that is into manufacturing of vehicles.
A first batch of 120 delegates was deployed for training at the Innocent Kiara Academy, Umudim, Nnewi, Anambra State in October 2015.
Very good. Now, what do we use it for? You have 3 minutes to stop.
The delegates distinguished themselves by the end of the training 9 months later in 2016, building a 32-seater bus from scratch to finish, which was later presented to President Muhammadu Buhari.
As I'm talking to you right now, there's also a second batch that is already in the training camp in Nnewi. Local content, as we all know, is looking inwards to what we have and see how we can develop it. The Ajakuta Steel Company, I'm aware that the federal government is working tirelessly under the President Muhammadu Buhari administration to revamp that area, which will make available raw material, raw steel for the youth to be able to at least get the raw materials and go back to their work. As I'm talking to you, we are producing what they call the normal keke nape. From there, we are producing buses. Before this set will finish, they are going to do about another 32-seater bus with some cars to show what they can do for themselves.
Coming at a time when the federal government is keen on the Made in Nigeria project, the deployment of another 200 delegates into the training in automobile manufacturing technology is an attestation of confidence in local expertise to drive national development.
Just in the aspect of chassis assembly of the factory, and you saw the guys that just exhibited what they can do, unassisted by anybody. Okay, so as you saw in the chassis section, so it is all over the factory. Painting, small bus finishing, big bus finishing, mechanic workshop, welding workshop.
Program is train and absorbed. The absorbing means we are going to create employment opportunities for the boys within their local environment. And to see to that, the office has, based on the collaboration we went into with the office, we have moved ahead to discuss with the state governors of various states to give us some land where we want to establish some vehicle maintenance centers in various states in the south-south, which, as I'm talking to you, Bayelsa has queued in, Akwa Ibom has queued in, and Edo, my own state, has also queued in, and other states also in the Niger Delta extraction are calling for it, and they are ready to see that the dream of having a restful Niger Delta that is devoid of violence and rancor and militancy is being achieved.
These delegates will clearly form the base of experts with requisite knowledge and competence to develop Nigeria's automotive industry.
The boys are guaranteed of employment, automatic employment, where we are building factories in Akwa Ibom and Bayelsa, where the boys will be gainfully employed. Now, the amount you spend for peace can never be overemphasized, because we need peace in the Niger Delta. We need to ensure that Niger Delta is sustained and remain a peaceful place for investors to come in and invest in the state. All this commendation goes to Mr. President for sustainability of the amnesty program, and also to the Brigadier General Paul Tiboro, who believe that the Niger Delta must be transformed.
You're watching Reintegration 30,000, and our guest on Talking Point this week is the chairman, Abuja chapter of the prominent Ijaw Youth Council, Ebizimo Priye Raffle. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Speak to us on your thoughts and impression of the presidential amnesty program in terms of helping to keep the peace and stability in the Niger Delta.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Taylor. First of all, I want to thank the organizers of this great program for deeming it fit to invite us to this powerful and power-packed program. I thank you once more for honoring us. First of all, the presidential amnesty program is a key to the developmental strategies in the Niger Delta area. And so far, under this General Borough-led administration, a lot has been recorded. A lot has been recorded. And it's still working towards the sustainability of peace and coexistence in the Niger Delta. And these things are very clear. They are very clear because you can agree with me that there's absolute peace right now in the Niger Delta. Kudos to the presidential amnesty team. Thank you.
What do you think about the ongoing negotiations between the federal government and leaders from the Niger Delta region?
Yeah, thank you. I want to first of all acknowledge and thank the federal government for, at this point in time, considering it fit to engage us through the PANDEF. And so far, so good. The peace we are enjoying today is as a result of that negotiations ongoing. And I believe that it's meant for good. And I still want to use this medium to plead with our people to still exercise patience, and the federal government and the PANDEF, which is the representative of us. They are working. These things are stages. It has to be thoroughly done. So you don't just rush over things and just garbage in and garbage out. Let's be patient with them, support them in morally, prayerfully, and spiritually, any which way, to see how these things can be achieved positively. And to the Pandev, I thank you. I thank you, our leaders, for making it, inconveniencing yourselves, your family. I know how tax it is, trying to, ensure that there's a peace in the Niger Delta. Thank you.
Are you perhaps in agreement with us when we say that the amnesty program has impacted hugely on human capital development in the region, considering the increasing number of youth who have become experts in relevant fields, courtesy of the program?
Yeah, definitely. It has impacted. I am a beneficiary as well of the presidential amnesty program. I'm a product of the struggle. I came out from the struggle. Like everybody knows the contributions of my late father and ensuring that this struggle is being sustained and maintained today through the presidential amnesty program. And so far, so good. The amnesty program is working. We have recorded so far. I know and I strongly am a testifier that the presidential amnesty program has recorded a lot of progressive reports, because I definitely know quite all right the number of persons that have been sent to school through this means, the number of persons that have been empowered through agricultural programs and other vocational training, pilots, aircraft engineers, and I still believe that recently some of the aircraft engineers have been even sent to further continue that type rating, which is a kudos to the presidential. They are not relenting, they are working. They are working tirelessly to see that these things are impacted positively, to change our mindset, to change our views of reasoning, to change a lot of things. And I strongly support what they are doing, and I still want to, tell them to do more, because this is the only organization the Ijoman has right now to empower ourselves. So we should stand firm to protect it in either ways. You can't come to destroy what we in turn benefit from, but you'll be a beneficiary too. So what I want to still urge my people to do, if you are not captured, if you are not included in the program, there are so many ways to channel your grievances and all that. So I want to tell my people that they should support and stand firm with the presidential amnesty program and the team, so they don't get discouraged. These guys, they are human beings as well. Despite the challenges, despite the criticism, they are still up on their feet. They are not distracted, concentrated, still fighting to see that there's peace and there's a human capital development in the Niger Delta. Thank you very much.
Quickly, before you go, speak to us on how your group, the Joe Youth Council, is helping to reorientate the youth and shape positive values amongst the youth in the region.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ms. Taylor. That's actually a critical point. Based on this, we paid our first courtesy call after our elections to the Office of the Special Advisor, the President of Niger Delta, and the Coordinator of Presidential Amnesty Program, to sit down for us to work as a team, for us to work as a one big family, to see how we can impact from our own hand, how we can sustain this peace, how we can contribute from our own end. Because this new administration of the Joy Youth Council Abuja chapter is a different one entirely. Our programs are well packaged. Our strategic points we are working serious on them to be unveiled the early part of next year, which is the first quarter of next year. That's why we deem it necessary to come sit down with the presidential amnesty program and the team for us to see how we can, work together, build this strong synergy so that we can, from our own end, develop our youth. We want to, at this point, thank the special advisor and seeing and buying into our programs and encouraging us by partnering with us to see how we can, as well, from this end, empower our youth, give them education empowerment, vocational empowerment, which he has accepted and agreed to work together with the Joy Youth Council Abuja chapter. Thank you very much.
Ebisimo Priye Raffle has been speaking on key issues of development in the region. We appreciate your contributions and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Margaret.
We also hope you will come back if and when you are invited.
Yeah, sure. We are here for you. We are here to work with you. So whenever you're ready, just call upon us. We'll sure be here. Thank you very much.
Ebizimo Priye-Raphael is the chairman, Abuja chapter of the prominent Ijaw Youth Council. Time now for our segment PAP in Recap. The Nigerian body of benchers have admitted another 8 delegates of the Presidential Amnesty Program as lawyers and solicitors during the last call to bar ceremony in Abuja. In the meantime, the new lawyers embarked on an appreciation visit to the Amnesty Office to affirm their support for President Buhari's development blueprint for Niger Delta. The special advisor to the President on Niger Delta and coordinator of the Presidential Amnesty Program, Brigadier General Paul Boro, while receiving the new lawyers, said the law profession requires integrity and discipline, which they must fervently uphold at all times. He said they now have the capacity to defend and advise people intellectually and positively to achieve and sustain the needed peace that brought about the amnesty program.
This is a testimony of the administration of His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari. It's a testimony in the sense that it is something that we can see happening. In the past 2 years, when this administration came to bear, there were stories we were hearing of people going on training, but we never heard of people being empowered in the sense of graduating from the schools, institutions, universities, and this time around has to do with the law school for that matter.
We'd like to use this opportunity to register our sincere appreciation for this program to the federal government. It's a very unique and terrific program initiated by late President Yaradua, oiled by former President Goodluck Jonathan, and sustained by President Muhammad Buhari.
In another news, the special advisor to the President on Niger Delta and coordinator of the Presidential Amnesty Program, Brigadier General Paul Boro, has called on the youth of the Niger Delta to maintain peace wherever they find themselves and never forget their root. He was speaking when the executive members Abuja chapter of the Ijaw Youth Council, led by the chairman, Ebizimo Priye-Raphael, paid him a courtesy visit in his office to formally introduce the group's ESCO members. General Boro noted that the visit was timely and enjoined the members to join hands with government in the task of peace building in the Niger Delta and Nigeria at large. He said the Ijaw Youth Council also has a duty to reach out to the people on government policies and programs that affect them and their communities.
We are going to establish that relationship so that we'll see how we can get ourselves engaged one way or the other.
We want to try to give back to the society because we are products of the struggle. Whether you like it or not, we benefited one way or the other from this struggle, from this family. And it's time to give back to the society. It's time to give back to our people.
And lastly, on a celebratory note, the Presidential Amnesty Office has taken delivery of some bags of rice, locally cultivated, milled and processed by 100 delegates of the program under its new and expanded Agricultural Business Hub initiative. The presentation is coming at the end of a 3-month training workshop in rice production organized by these delegates at a farm in Ugoja, Cross River State. The training culminated in the production of 1,500 bags of processed rice, a move applauded by the coordinator of the Presidential Amnesty Program, Brigadier General Paul Boro. The delegates have been empowered to start their own farms, with each getting a hectare of land with the prospect of credits from public agencies, including the Bank of Agriculture and the Anchor Brewers Program of the Central Bank of Nigeria. is where we draw the curtain on this episode of the program. Do join us another time for more on the activities of the Presidential Amnesty Program. Remember, you can still be a part of the program by making your contributions and leaving your comments on our social media platforms. In our subsequent edition, we will be doing a review of major activities of the Presidential Amnesty Program as captured in previous editions. So please endeavor not to miss out next week. I am Stella Inameti, and of course, Amnesty Works.